Hi guys, so you'll probably notice I look a little bit different. I have no makeup on my face whatsoever. I haven't done my hair, hence the hat, and I'm also in my pajamas. So you're probably wondering why, and I haven't made a video for a long time. I haven't been too well. I've been trying to catch up with college. Over the last week I've been really poorly, and I've had to take time off college, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to go over something that I'm still ashamed of a little bit, and that is my epilepsy. So in 2015 I had my first seizure. I didn't know what on earth happened. I woke up and there was paramedics around me, and they actually accused me of being on drugs, and I've never took a drug in my life, and I was like, what, are you kidding me? And I continued to have seizures, and that's when I saw a neurologist who said, okay, this is epilepsy. But no one really explained to me what epilepsy was, and I was like, okay, I got this epilepsy, but what is it? And it took me a long time to actually fully understand what epilepsy was. I tried a lot of different medications. I had a lot of reactions to different medications, which basically peeled off my skin, which is a very rare side effect, but it can happen. And for a long time I was very ashamed of it. If I had a seizure, you know, within a group of friendships, you actually find that you lose that friendship group, and it is quite sad. So you tend to not want to tell, like, you know, new friends or workplaces. But I'm going to talk about what happened in the last couple of days, because I don't really remember sort of way back then. But I was at work and I had a seizure, a tonic-clonic seizure, which is what everyone sort of has the idea of, which is the limbs shaking about, and paramedics were called. And once the paramedics arrived, they said I had around 40 absent seizures, and absent seizures are epilepsy still, so it may look like you're dreaming into space, but you're unconscious in some sort of way. I didn't want to go to hospital. I was like, nope, I don't need to go to hospital, I'm absolutely fine. But in the end I agreed to go. In the ambulance I had, I think it was 2 or 3 tonic-clonic seizures, and once I got into resus, I just continued to have more tonic-clonic seizures. I didn't really remember much. I remember oxygen and doctors, and that's about it. They gave me drugs via a cannula in my arm, and basically it's they call it loading dosage, which is a lot of anti-epileptic drugs which go into you at once. And I did have a reaction to it, so I couldn't see anything, and I couldn't feel beyond my like hips, and that was really strange feeling. But it stopped the seizures, and I thought, you know what, I'll go home, I'll be fine. I wasn't fine. I had a lot of seizures, and so I ended up going back in, and I had to stay, and my medication was increased. This made it pretty difficult because I basically couldn't see, so I was crawling around and like thrown up everywhere, and it was horrendous. And that's why I'm at home right now in my pajamas, because I can't really see that well. But epilepsy is something that I have been ashamed of for quite a while, because no one really understands it. If I say, okay, I have epilepsy, they're like, oh my god, we can't put flashing lights near you. I'm like, are you kidding me? But I think the time I started to talk out about it was a year ago, and a year ago well, just over a year ago, it was June 2017, I had a cluster of 23 seizures, and I don't really remember much of it, but I woke up in hospital and I had left-sided paralysis, so I couldn't feel anything, I couldn't move anything, and they queried a stroke or TIA. And since then my memory was impaired, so I am classed as having a memory impairment, which is one thing that I don't think I've really told anyone I know, because it is embarrassing. If people talk to me, I won't really recall that information at all, and they've said that I have damage in my dominant hemisphere, which I think is my left side because I'm right-handed, so I think so. I don't know about that. But it is embarrassing. And I think people have misconceptions about epilepsy, that, you know, it's just one of those things that you can like put flash at nights and people have a seizure, and it's like, no, that's not, I don't think so. You have to be careful a lot. You know, I've had seizures at train stations, and obviously that's evidently a dangerous thing. I've had like cuts on my head from seizures, so where I've had to have like butterfly stitches, that we call them over here. I've hurt my arms, legs, and it's not one of those things that you can just, you know, come out of. You know, when I have a seizure, I feel so tired, and my head pounds, and yeah. But, you know, I'm one of those people who just want to get on with things, and so I'm at work at the weekend, and I'm hoping that I will be able to see by then, because it's going to be a bit difficult. And I think the embarrassment will still be there, because obviously it is not a pleasant thing to have a seizure in front of people you know, you work with. And I think people maybe are quite scared of it in a way, because they don't know what to expect. You know, I have to take precautions. I don't really drink alcohol. My birthday last year, I was in Australia, and I had literally a couple of sips of alcohol, and I ended up having seizures, which isn't nice, especially on your birthday. So I don't really drink alcohol that much. If I do, it's not a lot. I have to be very cautious about it. I'm cautious, obviously I can't drive at all, which sucks, because I'm 19 years old and all the people I know can drive, which it sucks. And obviously you have to spend a lot of time in hospital in your seizures, which sucks even more, because then you're surrounded by normally elderly people and they scream a lot at night, which isn't nice. But I think this was a very out of the blue video, just to say that I have epilepsy and I am ashamed of it, but I still speak out about it. And one thing that I really want to do is to run a marathon. And if my mum watches this, she's gonna be like, that's not gonna happen. But I want to run a marathon, and obviously it is more dangerous with epilepsy because I could have a seizure at any time, but I just want to do it, and I want to do it in aid of Epilepsy Society. And my mum's probably watching this right now going, but yeah. Hi mum. And obviously I think a lot of things that people don't talk about with epilepsy is that there is a high mortality rate. You know, there's something called SUDEP, which is sudden unexplained death in epilepsy. I've probably got that all wrong, but basically, you know, I could have a seizure and I could just die, and I guess it's not that cheerful to talk about, but the off chance that so yes, I may start training for a marathon, and I want to do it because you don't want to be stuck inside all day. You don't want to have to say, okay, do you know what, I can't do that because of my epilepsy. You just gotta get on with things, and I want to do it.